Okay, it is 9:28 a.m. and the watch list hasn't really changed other than that APTY is back. I'll just be watching this for any potential morning panic bounce setup. I'll be watching the listed stocks to see how they do. It's really just going to be morning panic bounce plays again in the morning, and after that immediate, I guess 9:30 to 9:50, I'll start looking at other setups. Let's see if we got any nice plays and if I can trade them well. It is 9:38 a.m. NWGC. I did kind of miss the turnaround here, and I was interested in buying at this 85-ish level. Why? Because we had a big volume candle right here. It did break below 9, and the percent is as in how much it was down. It was pretty impressive too. But after this big volume candle, we did have this crazy just 1 minute spike to the very top. I would have sold into that just because the volume was just as, well, it wasn't even just as high. It was higher than the previously big volume candle. Of course, not including this one, which was just a market open. So in that sense, I would have sold into this spike. I did trade, however, I traded APTY. I guess not perfectly, but I bought at 104. My entry was good at 931. A bit sketchy when it only drops for 1 minute, so I did take that into consideration. But when I saw there was a lot less volume, I decided to take a chance and of course risk off the lows right here, and I did get that buy at 104 right here. I guess not really the best entry, but again, I wanted it to drop more than 1 minute, so I think overall it was not too bad. And then I sold almost 2 minutes later, 9:32. I sold into here because I just wasn't sure if this thing was going to work out or not. Sure, the volume is fading, but it might have another leg down. It was only down one big red candle. Ideally, it draws for more than one big red candle, and then it starts to make moves. That wasn't the case. So when we did get to here at 106, I took a sell. Immediately afterward, it started to tick a little higher, but at the time it was below VWAP. Now it isn't, above VWAP, but at the time it was right at VWAP, if not just a little below it. No, actually, yeah, I think I saw just below VWAP. I should have tried to go higher, but again, it's not an exact science. And yeah, I took a sell at 106. I, clearly got much better. I mean, it got as high as, 16, right? So that's pretty impressive. At least it was more than 2%. At least it was more than 2%. So that's where I'm at the moment. I'm going to continue looking at NWGC. In theory, it's going to be working right now. But, because they had that sketchy spike right there, which was something I've experienced before with GGII. I believe it was GGII. I'm a bit hesitant on considering it. It probably can still work out, but I'm not too interested in it at the moment. Alright, it is 10:14 a.m. I was considering maybe shorting this for a head and shoulder setup, but I just changed my mind because I see why it is up a lot. AMC is running very nicely, and I was interested in also shorting AMC for like a confirmed VWAP breakdown under 60, but then I just saw right here some sketchy price action that reminded me of like a short squeeze where people are just smacking the ask, and I was totally right about that. I had this nice break past it, and then it kind of downtrended, stopped looking at it, and now it's just continuously doing this very good uptrend. So yeah, because these are all kind of together, this thing could totally do it, but it might just absolutely destroy and wreck this setup because AMC is just going through a nice squeeze. Look at all these straight green volume candles. It could still work, right? It could still downtrend, but I'm not interested in it anymore because AMC is running very nicely. This thing could, signify, yeah, there we go. It's right at the head. That's not really, it could do it. It really could, but I'm not interested in it anymore for that reason. Charts are loading a bit slowly, but I don't mind because they work. That's all that matters. GME could be more like a confirmed breakdown. I was watching this if it could break this 222 level. This could be more probable because if AMC is running like crazy, but GME is just still struggling, and I've noticed that GME is kind of lagging behind the other ones, that could be a very nice setup too. I'll be honest, I haven't seen BlackBerry. Looks like a head and shoulders here too. Below this 14 level, maybe. Lots of volatility when it was below it. MJWL, I think this thing is still trying to hold the highs. I forgot. Yeah, it is, but it's not looking too nice. They kind of trade weird. FBCD is similar. They just trade weird even at the highs or near the highs. It's not really like DPLS was a few days ago where it just kept uptrending. This looks like it's trying to turn into a red day. I'll be considering looking at that one a little more. APTY is at 134. I'll consider now if it does a morning panic bounce play. I'll be a little less hesitant on selling if it seems like it's trying to hold itself together when it's at its highs, because maybe it can try to rip through like it is right here, break the day high and continue a nice uptrend. That could be something I can try doing. Yeah, AMC is doing a nice run, and UONE's at 2045. It could be it right here. It totally could be it. You know what I was looking at, but I don't regret missing that trade just because AMC was running so nicely and it was uptrending too. It got right at the head level, so I'll keep looking for more setups. I might be interested in shorting GME, especially if it cracks this 222 level, but you know, maybe it looks nice and it becomes a good buy setup. I don't know, but right now it looks more like a short setup. Alright, it's 10:43. I don't know what's with this wiki action here. Maybe some kid with Robinhood is just not having a good time, but I finally jumped in just one share short because this could be sketchy as heck. And really I'm just learning, but what really pushed me into selling short GME is that AMC starting to have like a downtrend, so that could really go in my favor. You know, it's just more things in my favor. I'll probably cut if it breaks 19. I'll be watching closely how GME reacts with AMC. Just one tiny share short. Ideally it could have been short at the 222 level, but you know, and then when it started downtrending I didn't want to chase. So with AMC having a panic, it could help. You know, maybe not. Again, I'll probably cut if it gets to 19, and it'll be a good attempt. Okay, it's 10:48. I traded this one pretty poorly. I'm gonna take a nap. My sleep isn't really that good, and on top of that, just didn't really. I mean, this whole time, I guess it feels more like a chase, but this whole time I could have been short. I was here when there was this one big seller right here, and then it tried to bounce back. I probably should have just tried shorting there, to be honest, and risk VWAP, but I don't know. 219 is kind of a random level. When you look at, where is it? Right here, it's kind of support right here. And if you want to count the top part of it, it's at 215, and you know, AMC did have a downtrend, but it started to do an uptrend, and that kind of messed with me. In theory, I'm still in the trade. It could do like an inverse head and shoulders. I don't know. 219 is just a random level. I don't want to risk VWAP. However, I'm going to take a nap and see how this thing does, and let me just go over anything else. It looks like UONE cracked 20. I was not there for that one. Super impressive. Very nice. Yeah, we'll see what happens with GME. MJWL doesn't really look like anything nice. BB had a nice panic. Maybe I should have noticed this. You know, all the other ones but AMC were just having a massive panic. APTY is at 133. That's nice. Alright. Yeah, we'll see what it does. Maybe I did the right thing because it looked like it was no longer reversing as nicely as it was previously. It could still do it, but maybe it'll just take longer. I'm just gonna take a nap and I'll be back and see how this thing does. Alright, it is 12:52. I am back from a nap, a well needed nap, not map. By the end of it, when I had that trade with GME, I just was actually fading pretty fast. So I'm back and I just want to see what happened ultimately. And we do see, wow, that is incredible. A nice drop to 2. It was at 210. It's at 210 now. I had my short at 217.31. Let's just compare it. It was at 1042. Right about, okay, so right here. Yeah, I did feel like this thing was trying to reverse. It did kind of do it, right? Maybe even a baby inverse head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder, perhaps. And yeah, it dipped again. It wasn't, was it? Yeah, it was just a little tiny wick higher than here. It looks like it really tried to come back, but it didn't. I tried again here, but it wasn't that impressive. It really isn't until 11:45 that this thing started to really accelerate, minus this one spike right here to where we are at 210. And I'll be honest, I have trouble holding positions for a long time. I haven't held a position from 10 to 12. I just have never done that. And I mean, for me to have done that would have been impressive. I should probably try to. But ultimately, I was thinking about holding this maybe max 30 minutes, an hour, but not 2 hours. That's a long time, but hey, maybe in the future I'll get better and I'll be better at that. UONE hasn't traded much. I did see the drop here after it happened. I did miss that one, but no setup there. FBCD, I was considering it at some point, I think. Like if it was going to hold right below VWAP and then maybe uptrend, it can make a leg up. This one's actually continuously fading. Excuse me. BB did have like a weird head and shoulder, head, shoulder. I think I saw it when it was happening. It just took a really long time to make the shoulder, but eventually it made a drop from that 14 to that 1385. Just not much range on this stock. AMC is fading. That's nice. I think I saw it when it had the drop here and then a tiny spike and then it dropped again. I said I don't like this price action, and that's true. It held up its, this level very nicely, and then when it actually dropped, this would have been a nice short. When it had this break below VWAP, it gets past it, rejects it, and then tries again, it doesn't really get that far. That would have been a nice short, and that would have led to somewhat easy profits, right? From the 61 to 58 level. Again, not that much range, but it's better than BlackBerry. MJWL isn't doing very much. Maybe he'll do like a random spike towards the end of the day. Maybe, but it doesn't look as nice as those previous days. APTY hasn't done much. It just came back to this 13 level. DPLS is nice. It keeps uptrending. That is incredible. I'll be looking at probably won't trade. It's a bit of a chase, but I'll be looking at how GME and the others do. I don't mind if I don't trade anything else today. Just a really puny What happened? Oh, okay. Just a really puny percent gain. It was 0.03%. That was just tiny. Just literally my limit price was just a little lower than my a little lower than my initial short level, just to not be totally, wrecked and get a red, even if it's just a few pennies, just not to kill my ego. Again, my short was at 1047 right here. Yep, would have been hard to hold through this. Maybe right here would have been very nice, and then it had this spike back. I might have held through this very nicely, pushing myself at the furthest. But I need to keep getting better. This was a great experience nonetheless, and I hope I can keep working on it. Alright, it is 2:46 p.m. So what I have been doing is just working on a new section of this eTrade Pro layout, and that is to just do options right here. I have two screens, so this is one of them. The other one has charts similar to this one, and it has just the stock itself. And I didn't know this was a thing. There's a chart just for the option as well. I don't know if I can find a way to. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't want to. I'll drag it. I never knew options had their own charts too, showing the prices. Well, this is pretty nice because here's the thing, right? This 220 level with GME was very, very important when I had my short around, where was it? 1042. So right about here, 1042, we just cracked 220, right? It could in theory still get above 220, and this was the idea, right? One share short, one puny share short, 217, all right? You know, just didn't hold on to it too that long. But if I get an option at 220, right? 1042. Look at the, is this the right one? Let's look at the put option for 1020. Not 1020, 220, 220, and that should be the put option. And then it was 1040-ish, so 1042 right here. Okay, it was at $14. Was it really this one? I thought I saw a nicer one. Yeah, because this is the closest date. Was there a closer? No, this is the closest. 220. Did I not click on it? You can tell I'm not perfectly. These are puts, right? Yeah, the right side is puts. Alright, so, yeah, no, this was it. So look, 1042. Right here, give or take $14 per contract, right? And then we had that drop, which sounds a little cocky, but to me it seems like it was a really good chance that it was going to reject 220. It did that. It broke it, tried to get past it, rejected it. Now let's look at 106, right? 106, right about here. Yeah, right at the highs, $19. So we're going from 14, or we're going from like $14 to $19. It just seems like there's so much range in terms of how much money can be made compared to just one share short, and you're trading almost the same position size. Well, I guess. Yeah, I would have to be, one share short was 217, but with options, if you do just one contract, which would be 10, that would be $140, so it would be half the position size. But we're looking at a lot better range in terms of 14 and 19. Now, of course, this means it could also go against me, right? But, you know, it seems really nice, the whole idea with options in terms of setups like this, where I don't trade just one puny share. You know, I can trade the option, and that will be much more profitable because there is more volatility. I mean, a move from 13, you know, to 19, almost $20, right? That's pretty significant. That's like a 50% move. That's really nice, and that's something I'm going to keep working towards. I'm going to put this chart back the way it was before. That's the new idea. I'm gonna consider options now. I might move money to E-Trade Pro because I just like this a lot more than what Schwab has, and it seems like E-Trade Pro has more dates available from the HTZGQ, or which one was it? I forgot which one, but it seems like the options are better. They have more days. I'm gonna watch the second webinar from Mark Crook about options, and I'm gonna just, you know, learn from it so I can get more information. I understand the buy open. I think that's, you know, if you buy a call or a put, how many contracts, and one is like 10 times 10 shares. I don't understand the buy open. Do I buy open and sell close? Is that like the bid and ask? I have no idea. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna learn more about it, but I'm very interested in doing this. And in terms of regular setups, you know, anything nice. GME is making a nice comeback. Out of curiosity, yeah, the option is now back at that same 13 level. and it broke the VWAP. It's very nice here, but you know, nothing I really want to trade right now. I don't really want to trade it right now, right here. You know, I think I'm fine in terms of wanting to find other setups. This is so nice, DPLS. I really look forward to a morning panic bounce play with this stock. APTY is very similar too, although DPLS has better volume. AMC looks okay. It's just nothing I really want to trade right now. I have other things to do, but I really look forward to options. I'll make an update later, but I doubt I'll trade anything. I'll trade anything else. Just had one tiny 6-penny gain, super tiny with GME. Didn't cost anything to short, and I had, man, my voice. Jeez. And also had to buy morning panic bounce play. I could have done way better with APTY. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll make an update soon. Alright, it is 4:45 p.m. The markets have closed, and I just want to review everything really to see what has happened. It looks like what APTY did offer. I wouldn't have traded this random dip here, but that is nice that it is up in the 14s. This is going to make a very nice morning panic bounce play whenever that happens, as well as DPLS. I wonder if that tick isn't real. That is very impressive. I like this. This is completely what you call a supernova. Had I been maybe more risky, I would have even considered the breakouts. Although this would have been kind of hard to trade because it looked like it closed right at the highs and opened, and then had a morning spike. I'm not really good with those, but you know, this is something that can totally be a nice morning panic bounce play, better than APTY. AMC is still hanging up there, had a nice run right about here when it broke that VWAP. Just very impressive price action. We'll see how this thing can do. It is starting to look a little toppy. Not too toppy, but it is starting to look toppy. BB just doesn't have much range, but I guess it was just doing random higher lows throughout the entire day. And then resistance near the VWAP level. MJWL, nothing really. FBCD, looks like it's downtrending, unfortunately not with much range or volatility. GME, this one's pretty impressive. This one seems to be struggling the most out of all of them. So I'll be looking forward to this, you know, in terms of a short or a short seller position mindset. Although I'm sure this thing can make a nice morning panic bounce play too, potentially, especially if it plays around that 200 level. UONE, nothing really too amazing, and I had that trade with, I don't even remember which one it was. Was it NWGC? Yeah, no. It was APTY, and that's crazy. My entry at 106, I think. No, that was my sell. My entry at 104, I think 104. Looks absolutely killer considering it got to 142, but kind of disappointed with myself. Not really. I think I traded it overall just okay because it did just have one big red candle. It wasn't like 2 or 3 big red candles heading towards a support level on a 15-minute, you know, chart, and then a big volume candle. It wasn't anything like that. Even though this one played out very nicely, I can't get too upset for that reason. So I'm gonna call it off. Just a good trading day. I look forward to the rest of this week and trying options for sure. You know, maybe I'll add money to E-Trade so I can trade options there. I'll have to call E-Trade because you can't do it through a request online to make sure I am not with a margin account so I can trade a cash account back and forth options. That's all I got. Just a really good trading day. I look forward to the next day.